This video is about queues. Do you often see a group of people queuing in front of an ATM? It is a universal rule that the person in front gets to access the ATM service first, followed by the next person in the queue. This rule is called first in, first out. So in a queue, there is a front end and the rear end. We join in the queue at the rear and we go out from the queue from the front. In terms of data structures, queues can be implemented in two approaches. First is array-based implementation, the other is pointer-based implementation. Let us try to understand array-based queues. When we start with an empty queue, two variables called front and rear will be initialized at -1. When the first element is enqueued, that element is the front as well as the rear of the queue. After that, every subsequent element enqueued, the rear is adjusted. We already have 4 elements and we want to dequeue one element. So that element to be dequeued is at the front. If A is dequeued, B, C and D are shifted to fill up the space. And the rear pointer is adjusted. We can see that this closely follows the mechanics of a real-life queue, like we see in front of an ATM. However, since the elements are shifted one space towards the front end every time we dequeue an element, this approach is inefficient. So, let us look at circular array as a more efficient alternative. When using circular arrays, the enqueuing of elements into the array is exactly as before. However, when dequeuing, instead of shifting the whole array elements, only the front pointer is adjusted. All the elements remain where they are. When we enqueue more elements and reach the last index of the array, the next index is wrapped around to the beginning of the array, provided that the queue size is not the maximum. Finally, let us examine pointer-based implementation of queues. In a pointer-based implementation, when it is an empty queue, the front and rear pointers points to null. Similarly, the first node is the front and the rear. A new node will be the new rear, and so on and so forth. First element is dequeued, the front pointer is adjusted. So that's the end of this presentation. Thank you for listening.